What?
Oprah.
And you're not going to tell me who had the conversation?
I think that would be very damaging to them.
So
she's such
they
a
did.
fucking victim. Ugh.
Harry came out later saying it's not the queen or the queen's husband, but referring to it could be the dad. They don't have a great relationship.
She's talking about like a lot of racism there. First off, does she strike you as a black woman? She doesn't strike me as a black woman. I mean, we met her dad, haven't we?
Met him? Or, I mean, he's been in the spotlight. He's white.
He's more than white.
He's
Alabaster. He's porcelain.
Yeah, he's King Ralph White.
Right.
So he's a big old white dude.
And so is her half sister, who changed her name back to Markle when Meghan got in the spotlight. Wrote a tell-all about her, and Meghan's like, I don't know how you tell all when you don't even know me. I haven't talked to you in like 20 years.
Bitch, you don't know me.
I heard a clip. I don't like her because I don't like this whole victim shit. But you're a princess, and I don't give a shit about the royals and who cares. But she was like, there was some point in the interview, maybe Max Paddock can find it, where they're driving to meet the queen. And Prince, whoever she's with, says, do you know how to curtsy? And she's like, what? Curtsy? No, or whatever. And he goes, well, you should know how to curtsy because that's what you do in front. And he's like, she's your grandmother. Oh, my God. Like, what's going on? Like, hey, bitch, if you're not into the curtsy, stay away from
tough road.
Stay away from Buckingham Palace. If the fucking curtsy is a bridge too far for you, maybe you've gotten in the wrong relationship. Maybe Tyler Perry would be a better fit. He already has security in a big house. You're already living in his house. Oh, no, wait a minute. I fucked that up. I did the wrong math on that. I'm on a fucking roll, though. Don't slow me down. You're already sleeping in Tyler Perry's bed. Perhaps he'd be more suitable. If you have a problem with the process of curtsying in front of the queen, a B-lister from Suits on TNN or whatever the fucking TNT network, she's like, I put my career on hold. Like, first off, I hate when anyone who has a marginal career talks about putting their career on hold to be a princess.
Mm-hmm. That's not exactly a lateral move.
Right. But like this thing where it's like, you're a little shocked, somewhat appalled, but it's starting to wash over you like what you've gotten into now. It's like she treated curtsy like people said, now it's time to take the knife and carve the pentagram into your chest to show allegiance to the savior. It's like, oh my God, that's when I realized I was in the cult. You know what I mean? But they're talking about doing a curtsy.
Right.
So she was
expected.
She was put off by the curtsy.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot more on this list that's going to bother you.
Yes. Almost everything about this experience you're going to find off-putting if curtsying is an issue. But she gives it and the problem with interviewers, and I don't know what Oprah said, but like if people are doing a proper interview, they need to go, you had a problem with curtsying in front of the queen? And the deal is that's his grandmother, but she's the queen and you're meeting her. And this is all they got is tradition. It's not like they create some durable good or they export this or import that or they have ores or minerals or something. It's just this. It's just a bunch of tradition that they try to keep alive.
Oh, we have the clip.
Did you find it? I just heard it like on the radio.
What? So do you know how to curtsy?
You got to go back a little bit. Sorry, if you can. 10 seconds or something.
He says, okay, well, my grandmother's there, so you're going to meet her. Oh, great. I loved my grandmother. I used to take care of my grandmother.
Hold on. Go back.
Does she not know that she's the queen of England?
When people tell these stories where I go, hey, we get to meet my Nana. Oh, great. I love grandparents. I love my grandparents. I love my grand. Then he said, do you know how to curtsy? And I was like, what? What's happening here?
My world's upside down.
I'd say there's a context if you... All right, sorry, go ahead.
Look, I'm sorry, but I have to remind you, I curtsied to Alex Trebek when I met him. She can curtsy to the Queen of England.
That's right, and look where he is now.
Oh, no.
You ever have those like conversations, like poor Oprah didn't agree with her, but she had to sit there and like you ever have those conversations with those people where they're like, So, I get the beef bowl and I say, throw in some avocado. And the guy goes, well, it's going to be an extra 50 cents. What?
50
What?
cents?
What?
Outraged.
And you're like standing there going, that sounds pretty cheap for avocado. Or, but the person does it. What? And then you have to kind of sit there and go, yeah, avocado these days. But you don't really fucking agree with them because you think, yeah, it's extra. It's avocado. Play back one more time. Go back a little further. Just a little bit with the grandparents. She seems like a piece of work just from this simple exchange, which is this is a 0-point exchange, which is I have grandparents. What? Inside? The inside curtsy? That's like opening a fucking umbrella inside her. Is there an indoor curtsy and an outdoor curtsy? I feel
she was familiar with the custom. She just didn't think it applied to her.
But
That's right.
It was like the whole thing took her by surprise. Like, how odd.
I feel like there's a lot of indoor curtsying going on. It's not just
Almost
an outdoor.
exclusively.
Yeah. Behind the scenes.
Sorry, we'll play it. Hey, do we need Oprah for this interview? Oh, hey, Gina, you talk about curtsying.
Okay. And he said, do you know how to curtsy? And I said, well, I mean, why do I have to curtsy? We're meeting indoors. It's informal. It's a grandparent,
Wow.
just.
Yeah.
Well, and then he said, no, she's the queen. And I was like, well, that doesn't apply to me. That's just for fanfare. That's just, what we do outside.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so like I was saying, he said, you just put one foot behind the other. You do a little bend. And I said, well, that seems extreme. This is grandma. This is Gram.
Do you like pita chips as much as you like pita, or you like me that you like pita, but you're not a fan of pita chips?
They're both fine. They're good.
So anyway, yeah, indoor curtsy. Sorry. Yeah,
Right, anyway.
It's an outdoor thing.
Well, no, it's actually both. What the point I was getting at was that you have to do it both times, and I was outraged.
Yeah.
I was
Why'd your
shocked.
grandma want you to curtsy again?
No, Harry's grandmother's the Queen of England.
But if I have hummus, I like the pita chips better. I don't just eat them like potato chips.
Are you asking me what food they served when I met the Queen?
Stedman and I have been going steady for, 40 years. He doesn't like
Checked
pita
out Oprah might be the next best character on this show.
He doesn't like pita or pita chips. And I'm like, well, it got to be one or the other,
Oh.
Anyway, you did the curtsy indoors or?
No, I didn't think I had to, which was kind of my point.
Right. Sorry.
Extreme of consciousness to Oprah is great.
So you have to think about Meghan Markle. So you have to think here's things I'm going to talk about something that I think's important. That story is kind of a zero burger. It's basically you're going to the palace to meet the queen,
right,
and your new husband or fiance or whatever it is at the point realizes that you probably don't know a custom that's kind of not part of your world. So he asked, do you know this move? Like it would be a handshake or something in another culture.
Double kiss on the cheek.
Right.
You know what kind of story that is? That's a fun little get to know you puff piece if she's on a late night show. Like the funny curtsy story. This is not news.
But her thing of what? What's going on? It has begun. Right.
I don't think it's a zero burger, like you said. I think it actually works in a couple points against her, which is you think this is an outrage, but you look like a buffoon.
Right. This is your example of the beginning of the oppression of you in this environment, and this is a horrible example of that.
She's Yoko to them.
Right.
She is Yoko. Don't you think her stylist, when she was picking out, she was picking out dresses for the interview, and she was like, "What about this?" The stylist would say, "Not the bird shit dress. Don't do that."
It looked like a Hawaiian gi. It looked
but didn't it look like something had accidented itself?
Yeah, especially if it's an
spill.
outdoor shoot. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't normally get too petty about the wardrobe, but that
you think somebody would have said something because she is so put together. She's stunning.
Yeah, it struck me as kind of unflattering and sort of a weird I don't know if she's maybe she's pregnant.
She is pregnant,
but like 2 months or something, or a few months. I got to figure out how far down. But it seemed like a weird ensemble for her. I shall say. Anyway, all right. Well,
okay.
She's a victim. Everyone's a victim. And then later on, they were racist, and now she had to move to. And by the way, last I checked, the United States is systemically racist. So you guys should have.
Damned if you do.
You guys should have hit Canada or some other place in Europe. Don't come. Don't if you're going to leave because of racism, do not land in a place that is systemically racist. Sorry.